Hi guys, it's Mike here from KS Bushcraft Down Under. Today I thought I'd have a chat to you about going fishing. Now, in Australia we're really lucky. We have easy access. You don't require a license to fish in salt water, from the beach or a jetty. You do require one in a boat. That's been a relatively recent thing. Now, I've had a few comments of late about the expense of some of my gear, and sure enough, I really do enjoy good gear. And you can spend an awful lot on fishing. This Exotac X-Reel, nice piece of kit, bloody expensive. But you don't have to. So I'll give it some thought. Now the minimum wage in Australia is about $20.30 an hour, Australian of course. And I thought, well, if I could set up a fishing kit, a bucket, for $10, that's half an hour's wages. It means fishing's affordable for absolutely anyone. Now I started off nearly 50 years ago with a little hand reel like this, turned up by a friend of my dad's, still got it, still works. I learned an awful lot about fishing, for everything from the basics of making simple rigs, tying knots, and it's skills which have carried me through my life. So introducing a kid, or actually anyone, to simple fishing gives them a good survival skill and good skills for life. So I gave it some serious thought, but what was the cheapest way of going? So I thought I could go out and buy a spool of line. Now this is a braid I picked up at my local Aldi store. It's Crane brand, but really braid isn't good for hand lines. It'll cut your fingers to the bone. But for $4, couldn't resist it. So at my local shopping centre, we have these little hand lines. They're sold all over Australia. So just under $4. Comes with a sinker, comes with a hook and a line. I thought, right, there's the good basics. So we'll start off with that. Now, when I was at Aldi, these kits, now this one is Crane brand, it's an Aldi brand, I was reading on the back there. Plenty of hooks, plenty of swivels, 10 ball sinkers, $4. So we spent $8. Spend another $1 on a bucket, and if I can pick up an old knife at the thrift store for another $1, so for $10 I've got a reasonable kit. So a good packet of hooks will set you back quite a bit. So this kit here, I thought, well, that's not value. So a quick look inside. It has got bait holder hooks. They don't have the world's largest barb on the back, but they're in size 4, there's 30 of those. In size 2, 30 of them. Brass swivels in size 8, 15. Brass swivels in size 10, 15 of. Paul sinkers, size 2, there's 5 of them. Size 4, 5 of. And long shanked, which is really handy if you have toothy fish. They're in size 4 and there's 30 of those. So there's a lot of gear for $4. So I'm going to go out there and set this bucket up. We'll go out, we'll have a bit splosh around the seashore near my place, and we'll prove that for a very little outlay you can have an awful lot of fun. Okay guys, keeping it incredibly simple. So I've tied on a size 4 hook now with the hook sizing. When it's say a 4.0, a 5.0 is bigger than a 4.0, but when it's a straight digit, the size 2 is bigger than the size 4. So this is the size 4 bait holder, and the smaller of the sinkers, running directly to the hook. Now this will give me the maximum distance, because I'll be based on the shoreline or on the small pier. I could put a swivel in that to give me a distance between the two, but since I'll be fishing on the bottom, because it's summer here, so there'll be lots of whiting around, this will be an effective little rig. So a packet of bait, it's about $8, that blows our budget out. So crust off some old bread, some tin corn, it's about 90 cents, that's within our budget, and I'll have a dig in the garden for a few worms. That'll get me started in the bait department. I could go and prize some mussels off the rocks, which is another option, which is all a free and natural option, and that'll sort us out for bait. Okay. We've got absolutely plenty of nice wiggly worms. So that'll okay, there's plenty of nice wiggly worms there. That'll keep us going in bait tonight, or at least get us started anyway. Okay guys, nothing I can do about the wind noise. So we've got bread, tin corn, a few garden worms to get us started. I'm going to try and catch something and use that as bait. So we've got an incoming tide, which isn't ideal, and I've got the wind at my back, and I'll be casting into the current, so I won't need to cast very far, and I want to get it as close to the jetty pylons to get us started on the first fish of the day. Well guys, unexpected catch. Yeah, that was a blue swimmer crab. So not what we were expecting to get. So at least I know my bait's on the bottom. Okay, here we go. Fish on. Not very big. Feel them biting. You need enough gap between the reel and your hand to get the hook set. And I need to keep reasonable tension on. Speed's less important, although we have got a few cormorants around, so I'm getting a bit of colour. These guys like mussels, prawns and stuff like that. It wasn't that fussy today. So there you go, mate. Get back in. There's no cormorants around. And he's off like a rocket. Well, guys, I really quite enjoyed that trip. The weather wasn't perfect, that's for sure, but I did as well as anyone on that small jetty. There was guys with hundreds of dollars worth of equipment that weren't catching any more than me. So we got a couple of silver brim and one blue swimmer crab, and we're down there for about 2 hours. I felt that the quality of hooks that I got from Aldi weren't helping, but it certainly worked. So these brim have a pretty bony mouth, so the only ones I got were hooked in the upper lip, not in any other part of the jaw, where when the shiner hooks I use, it's much more random than that. But for $7 US or $10 Australian, we had a good time. Now we're coming into a time of inflation and rising interest rates, so people will have less money to spend. That not having as much money to spend doesn't stop you having a good time, guys. So get out there and get into it. Anyway, guys, if you like the content I create, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out greatly, and I'll catch you next time.